Hey guys, another one. Yeah, shocker, right? Let's see where we go here. All right. Hey, got one already. Sweet. Phone just came on all on its own. Trying to figure this stupid thing out. Went and bought a new phone, so it's like trying to figure this thing out and stream. And I got messages on Facebook. And, oh God. So anyway, crack open a soda here. Lighting up the smoke, and we'll continue on with the stream. Yeah. Shoot. So I was tired. Well, I guess when I did my stream last night, or what was it? Yeah, last night. God, when you lose track of time. So I was really tired last night, and yeah, I ended up stumbling all over everything I was trying to say. So I do apologize for that. I was trying to answer questions and comments on not Facebook, but YouTube here. I'm sorry. I want to go ahead and answer those questions now that I've had some rest. 3 hours ago. Mark from Ford Mustang 98 guy. I'm sorry I didn't know you went live earlier today. That's why I do a post on Facebook. I try to alert everybody there's either a video or a live stream coming up. I usually give you about 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time to log in and whatever. Because I'm already sitting here. I just as well get it done. Same person. Can you do a startup and walk around test drive of your 2005 Grand Prix? Yes, I will eventually do that. It's a little chilly out right now, and I'm still learning this phone, and this is my camera. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get this done probably this coming week. Again, same person. You should get the car sprayed underneath, prevents it from rusting. I have yet to find somebody here to do that, and I'm sure if I find it, they're expensive, and I ain't got the money to do that. Could you do a live chat video in the evening, whenever you have time? Will you stop? I'm going to read that again. Could you do a live chat video in the evening whenever you have time? Hi. If I were you, keep that Grand Prix. Please do not get rid of it. Those 3800 engines are strong. I've had 5 of them. This is number 5. And let's see. If we're going to go back a ways. My first one was, well, I go kind of bounce around in years of cars. So my first one was in a 1992 Oldsmobile Delta 88. We called it the Bubble, and it had the Series 1 in it. It ran good. I sold that car with 310,000 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but it's a lot. The girl that bought it from me drove it for 2 years, and she totaled it out. 1 minute, we got another message. Okay. And then I went to a hell was that car? Okay, yeah. Then I went to the 97 Bonneville. That car, I loved it. It was a great car. I owned that car personally for 7 years. Never hiccup, never left me stranded. Even with a bad fuel pump, it continued to run. Um, I sold that car, God, quite some time ago. I sold it to a guy who drove it to, when I sold it, it had 364,000 miles on it. I bought it with 140. The guy drove that car to close to 500,000 miles before he sold it off. And he said it was in great shape when he sold it. Then I went to a 1990 Buick Riviera. It had a Prix Series 1 3800 in it. Car ran great. It never hiccuped. Well, I take that back. It did. Whoever owned it before me didn't take very good care of it. It was a pretty car. It was a very beautiful car. Mechanically, it was not the best. Basically, what I think is the previous owner that had it before me, they only paid attention to the outer appearance of the car and not the mechanicals. Because when I got the car, it looked like it never had an oil change, never had a transmission service. The coolant looked like, you ever get like a really bad cold and you got sinus drainage? It looked like that. I mean, it was the same consistency. Power steering fluid was black. The brake fluid was black. I had to change all the fluids, flush the engine. Apparently, they had ran it hot a few times, and the coil module wiring got brittle, and it started to arc on itself, and I had to rewire all of that. That right there left me stranded. And yeah. Needless to say, I sold the car after I rebuilt the wiring loom in the, well, I didn't rebuild it. I basically just reattached everything, made sure all the connections were good, made sure there was no more frayed wires, basically just ran through it. I sold that car to a guy. He offered me what I paid for it, and I owned that car for 2 years. The guy offered me exactly what I paid for it, so it was a win-win-win for me because I bought it with 154,000. I put about 22,000 miles on it, and the guy bought it from me and took it, had it completely restored, had it on the road for literally 2 weeks, and then ran it into a telephone pole. Totaled the car out. He's okay. He actually said everything was great, and he of course, with glass shattering and all that, he said, yeah, I got some cuts, and the airbag blew out in my face. Well, he's fine. The car's not. Then I went to my 2001 Regal. Damn good old car. I bought the car. The odometer lights didn't work. So the funny thing about those is when that little cluster thing goes, that little digital cluster at the bottom of the gauge cluster, the little LCD panel in there, when the lights go dead, it doesn't mean that the mileage isn't still counting. I bought my Regal basically sight unseen. I was told it ran good, it needs some work, and I was like, yeah, if it's cheap enough, I'll buy it. Cool. They gave me a good price on it. Um, Brought it home. I replaced 2 diodes in the gauge cluster, put a new fuel level sender in it, and drove it for, God, how long did I own that car? I owned it for a while. I sold it 2 years ago. Yeah. And that car had a Series 2 3800 in it. Ran like a top. I would trust it to go anywhere in the world. We couldn't kill it. So, and that one was mechanically sound. It visually was not completely appealing until I got a hold of it. Then it was unbelievably clean, but it started to rust pretty bad. And like I said before, I can't find any other undercoating people here that are as reasonable on price. So, and yeah, so I can't really do that. Um, yeah, so I can't really do that on the new car. Now, yeah, this is number 5. And then I traded the Regal for the Impala, which had a 4-cylinder in it, which is stupid. Another story for another time. Then that for the Kia. The Kia for the Honda. A Honda for the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix, of course, is a 2005 Grand Prix GT2, which means it has all of the interior amenities that the GTP has, including the sunroof, including the heated leather seats, including the monsoon sound package. Nice car. I like it. It's great. Gets really decent mileage for a giant V6. Yeah. This one is a Series 3 3800, so it's the final series. So right before they went to the 3900, which is a overhead cam engine, I prefer a cam and block engine, and this one, it's great. We can't complain about it at all. It's a great car. So there's 5 of them. Now, if you count the family, we've had 7 or 8 in total. I don't remember. I remember at least 2 more. One of them is on my channel here. So that was a 2001. No, it was a 2000 Grand Prix GT. It was brown. The most boring color ever, like brown. Had tan interior. It wasn't nothing real special. It was a GT1, so it had some stuff in it, but it wasn't like impressive. It had a Series 3 in it. No, it was a Series 2. Series 2. Then he had well, back in the day, he had an '87 LeSabre that had a Prix Series 1 3800 in it, and the ones that were notorious for harmonic balancer issues, like it would work itself loose on its own, because a harmonic balancer, basically you got the pulley here and then you got a rubber ring in there, then you got the actual pulley that the belt goes on. The rubber would weaken and wear out, and it would sit there and clunk like crazy. So that, after 2 harmonic balancers, he was done with it. It was over. So, yeah. Let me go back to my page here. So, yeah. Um, comments. I forgot. We've already kind of covered that. Do you have Google Hangouts? No, I do not. Good reason behind that. I had a series of people that were getting on my Google account and messaging me at all days of the morning, day and night. They're all hours. Sorry, all hours of the day and night, and it was not pleasant. Especially when you're working 2 jobs, taking care of a house, the car. How at the time my mother, doing all the housework. It was, I had no rest at all. So, yeah. My 2002 Buick Regal LS is still running great, but the only thing is the odometer where the mileage shows does not work because of the resistor in the cluster. I think I covered that last night in full detail. Yeah, go check out that video. And I was commenting back and forth with this person too. So it is a common issue with the Buick Century and Regal. They all have that same problem. Mine has lower miles than your '01 Regal. My '01 Regal, when I bought it, the odometer thing didn't work. And yeah, the person that I'm talking about is Mark from Ford Mustang '98. The guy, he has a beautiful 2002 Regal. It's an LS with the if I remember right, it's got two-tone paint. It's the dark garnet red with the sandstone silver base or bottom. Beautiful car. And it last I heard it only had 90,000 kilometers on it, which you do an exchange on it. 90,000. That's 55,000 original miles. This car is perfect, and being a Canada car, which he's up in Canada. Being a Canadian car, this car is mint. So, I definitely recommend go checking him out because he is seems like a stand-up guy, and he lets everybody know about it. Not really, but I'm making him sound like an asshole, but he's actually a really nice guy. That's pretty much it all I got. Oh, another one. I butchered the name last night, and this was regarding my 1990 Riviera. Dai Wei Ping. I think that's right. Rest in peace, 1986 CRT touchscreen. Mine didn't have that. I think it was 86 through 89 that had that. It was an option, a very expensive option, but all of them had digital clusters back then. Well, the 86 through 89 models had a single bar cluster around the top, and then it went into this giant CRT touchscreen in the center stack. That was your full infotainment center. It looked like you were trying to control the car through Oregon Trail on an Apple II. It was bad. But it was very functional. It was a CRT screen, so you had to let it warm up and do its own boot sequence and all that crap. But if yeah, it was different. Mine was a giant LCD digital panel for a gauge cluster. It was huge. It had the tach, the odometer below the tach, and then the speedometer with a secondary digital speedometer, like digital readout, below the digital analog. All the other gauges for it were digital analog, and it had warning lights everywhere. So you started the car, it looked like straight up as many Christmas lights as you could think of. But mine did not have the infotainment package, which the dash literally curved off. I mean, it was a large dash, but I had the general digital climate control, little push button thing, and I had the Bose cassette player that came stock with the car that I put a Kenwood CD player in because the tape deck didn't work, and you can't find those cassette adapters anymore, so I opted for a Kenwood head unit. When I sold that car, it had, if I remember right, almost 192,000 on it, something like that. It was years ago, so it was, blah. I'll just get off that. So yeah, I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to join in on the conversation. I've got some time still, so oh, new subscriber, Big Alexander 1996 187 Mafia. Thanks for subscribing, and all new subscribers, thank you so much. Thanks for my old subscribers. Yeah. Let's see through this new stuff here. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. But anyway, I think I answered everything on my comments. Now, if there's any questions or anything, but I doubt there is, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now because I do have other things to do today, and I really should get them done. So anyway, guys, I hope I made some clarifications in the travesty I had last night because I was freaking tired. So again, I will do a walk around of my car soon, just not today. I do have things to do today, and making a video regarding a car for me is about an hour to maybe 2 hour affair. That it's getting dark outside already, so yeah, 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's already getting dark. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. I will try to get that video done this coming week. Again, I have to learn about my new phone here, so it's taking a process. So anyway, guys, we will talk to you later, and have a good evening.